All right, guys, welcome back. Now, in a recent article in the Gleaner newspaper, some Jamaican green card holders in the U.S. expressed hesitancy to travel due to changes in the immigration policy. Zooming in now to have this discussion with us is Director of the Caribbean Immigration Services, Mr. Erwin Clare. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to both of you.
Erwin, how are you?
I am well, thanks. I'm well. It's going to be a bright, sunny day here, I think.
Yeah, man. Good to see you. Who is a green card holder? Who is that person?
A green card holder is really, what is it called, an alien permanent green card. It's when one migrates to the United States and they may have been petitioned for, let's say, by a family member and for permanent residency. It allows legal presence in the United States to live, work, and travel. The expectation is that you maintain your dual residency, and that is always considered at least 6 months. Once you acquire that 6 month status within where you permanently reside, is considered your residency. To exit the country and remain out for more than 6 months could become problematic. That is where several persons are now encountering challenges, because with the present administration, they are now enforcing the rules as written by law.
Oh, okay, so tell me that again. So you have to be out of the country for more than 6 months. So if I fly out and I come back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I'm fine?
You're fine.
Then what is the concern then? Because I don't think people want to leave America for 6 or 7 months. So what is the concern?
In some cases they do. The concern here is whether or not you've ever been arrested. Period. Because once you re-enter the United States, they run your green card, and that information will come up. And recent changes have made some of the challenges we may have had with the criminal justice system becomes critical as to whether or not the CB officer, the custom officer there that interviews you, will consider you fit to enter the United States. So we say to people right now, if you have ever had any incidents with the criminal justice with the United States, whereas last year those situations may not have been an issue, this year it is an issue. We say to you that you should have a conversation with your attorney or persons who are so expert in those areas before you travel. And then there are also other factors too, guys. The other factors could be that although you would have gone on and gotten your green card, you may have had previous immigration matters where you attempted to adjust your status or to become straight, and the first time it never worked out. And the system may have sent you a letter that says you are granted what is called voluntary departure, which means you leave before we come and get you. But within that time frame, you also had the opportunity to seek redress, and you would have gone on and gotten something straight. But that little part there that says removal, voluntary removal, is never taken off your case. When they run your case file now, those things come up. Here goes again. Opportunity for the guy at the bar to say, well, tell you what, guy, we're going to have to check you out in but you must remember now, what is driving most of these things? What is really driving most of these things, and I'm very careful with my wording here, is that the numbers that this administration may have expected to deport on day one, as they said, is not really materializing. So the bars now are being lowered. Any kind of miscue. And that's what we say to people. It's not to get people really, really concerned and to be a fear mongering here. But if you have had any challenges in your past, speak to your immigration person before you travel. That is a responsible way. That is a responsible way.
But criminal cases aside, though, Erwin, what are special circumstances? Like, we know that some persons may be living overseas, have gotten married, they live overseas, but their parents are still here, they're getting older. Do they give any kind of considerations for these special circumstances?
All right, there are rules and regs for that. If you're a green card holder and you plan to be out of the country for, let's say, more than a year, you can apply for what is called a re-entry permit, which allows you to be out of the country for up to 2 years without penalty. So there's some rules there, not as flexible as one would want it. There are people, let us be real here, that may necessarily use their green card, probably like a hybrid visa. Those kind of comfort area that used to be, one would say, available. With present conditionalities, you find that the person who's checking you out at point of entry to the United States may not be as accommodating, So again here, if we say to persons, if you have a green card, and I usually start my conversation with these guys, if you have a green card and you're qualified to be a citizen, it's a good time to go out and get your citizenship and move away from these situations where, as a permanent resident, where this is becoming, less and less a secure matter for you to take as far as your immigration is concerned.
By the way, can you lose your citizenship?
There are possibilities. As a matter of fact, if you recall, in the first Trump administration, they did mention that they did set up a department that would seek to review certain applications. There are certain applications where a person may have not told the truth or may have come from certain countries which they hide, and all that scenario. It's a process of denaturalization which doesn't happen overnight. But yes, it can happen. And I think this Trump administration has already engendered that organization as well. But I don't think that that's a managing risk when you compare to the numbers that they probably find there.
Yeah, the reason I asked that was about leaving the country, the same thing we were talking about, the green card. I know if you do, any untoward stuff, then you can. But I was asking, if you come out of the country for 5-6 months, I'm a citizen, can that be any?
Oh, you're fine, man. You're fine, man.
Okay.
You're fine. You have many Americans live all over the world.
Okay.
When last said they come back to the United States, as long as the country that they're in accepts them. I travel extensively.
Yep.
I don't necessarily stay 6 months per se yet, but in the future I hope to. And it is my expectation that I'll enter in whenever I choose to, because I'm a United States citizen, I paid my taxes here, and I earn the right to do what I do.
Yeah. Let's talk about the effects, though, for Jamaicans who won't be able to travel or they don't want to travel right now. What kind of effect are we looking at to Jamaica?
That's a question that is challenging. And one of the things I'll say to you, Jamaicans living in the diaspora have a true commitment to their nation. I mean, bar none. And, we'll find ways to come home. It will be challenging for some because of some of those impediments, which is understood. The challenge, though, is at the fear factor here, because it's a part of this whole immigration drive here. One of the main ingredient for success is fear. And there are those who cultivate it and nurture it. I say to folks right now who are in a position to travel and so desire, they should look about it, but be prudent about it, be responsible. And the fact there, though, here's a drawback, though, is that because green card holders do not live in a silo, they impact other family members. So this is where it could impact a whole family not going to go because of one person in the family. That is a consideration. So we may have a fall off there. But I truly believe that in most cases, Jamaicans with permanent green cards are okay. But all I say to them is that be prudent, check yourself up before you travel. And the part where I feel that the fall off could be for Jamaica is that we have a larger situation here. And that is the impact of what's taking place within the government, within the management of the government in this country, where people are being laid off. Many of us do work in federal government, and families affected. That could have an impact going forth and how we look at how immigrants are treated at the border.
Yeah, you said earlier, sorry to jump in, Erwin, you said earlier that if you do nothing wrong and stuff when you travel and you come back, that might come up. But if you are a clean, decent, young, well, not necessarily young, but if you do nothing wrong.
You mean old like me, yeah, I'm all right.
Or like we. You can run up and down and you shouldn't have no issues, right?
And that is the basis. That's the case. Yes.
Right.
Yes. And if the issue comes up, you have strong footing. Right. But it will be an inconvenience, but you'll have strong footing because, again, remember, there's an eagerness to remove persons from the United States, and the numbers are not being fulfilled, and so the bars are being lowered.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just have to be cognizant of that.
Are you telling people right now to get themselves an attorney?
Well, if they have those situations, have a consultation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We love Jamaica and want to come up and do our stuff, invest in the nation and spend some money and enjoy like we should.
Yep.
You know, but you also have a responsibility where you live and to come back to your job and your family.
Yep.
So be prudent about it.
Good to see you, my friend.
Same here.
I don't know if everyone knows this. Erwin Clear is also Team Jamaica Bickle.
Yes.
Yes. Jamaica Bickle is the group that looks after the athletes when they come to the pen relays.
Nice.
So he feeds them if they need little put up them kind of help.
And we have big things going on this year now.
Yeah.
Big things.
So I suspect I might see you next week Tuesday. No?
I suspect so.
I suspect I might see you. Thank you very much for shedding some light on this. And I hope when you come to Champs, them not going to stop you from...
No, I can always stay, man. I have no problem staying.
So when you come, and next time I see you sit down and say, boy, Sir Donald say I can't come back.
I hear some of that now.
You always have a home here, Erwin. Always.
Good to see you, my friend. God bless. Take care. See you next week. He's the Director of the Caribbean Immigrant Services and so much more, Mr. Erwin Clear.
Yeah, man. Blessed morning, my viewers and subscribers. Welcome back to the channel, Big Voice Radio. In the building, scene. So guess what now? You don't know, going to the gym earlier, as usual, go bust a sweat and take care of my body because you only have one body to take care of. See? So get an exercise routine, go out there, go bust a sweat, do something, move your body, because the older you get, the slower your metabolism gets. That means you gain weight faster and you lose weight slower. So get with the program, get a little exercise routine and do what you have to do. Alright? Yeah, man. So anyway, this video is not going to be long. I just saw a clip of a immigration issue. I'm going to play it so you can hear it for yourself. So watch it and then now me come and tell you my thoughts on it real quick. Alright, cool. Watch it and come talk to me. Alright.
Woman who overstayed her visa is now in jail nearly 400 miles away. She says she was detained after going through TSA at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. And that's where we find local 10's Janine Stanwood live with this story. Janine.
Louis, this is part of the national immigration crackdown. Even people without criminal records are subject to deportation, and this family says they want to fight that.
We were homeless in the Bahamas, and then we came here.
James Walkeen admits he and partner Lashar Smith overstayed their visas more than a decade ago when they came here from the Bahamas looking for a better life. But Tuesday, they never imagined she would be arrested at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, they say by ICE agents.
She went through TSA. They was giving her a hard time with her ID, and they were saying that it wasn't scanning.
The Broward Sheriff's Office was called, he says. She was then taken into custody.
Immigration stepped in, and they determined that she has no criminal record, but because they determined that she's on overstay, they took her in.
An inmate of Baker County Jail. For account approval, press 1 to accept.
While we were there, Lashar called from jail.
I miss you too, Princess. Oh, yeah, come home.
She says she was moved to a detention facility in Baker County, 5 hours away.
A lot of people that were birthed here, that works here, don't understand what immigration or immigrants have to go through.
But under law, if someone overstays their visa, they are here illegally and subject to deportation. The new administration has made that clear. Joaquin tells us they've tried to get their papers. It didn't happen soon enough.
A lot of red tape and confusion. It got to the point where I had to get my 24-year-old daughter to refile again for me. I've been here since I was 8, back and forth to the Bahamas. This country is all I know. I can't hate it.
Joaquin says he's already spent a lot of money trying to get legal status. Now he wants to hire an attorney because his focus is getting his partner out of jail. We're at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. I'm Janine Stanwood, local.
All right, so you watch the video. So this is about a couple, a female, I think a Barbados them come from, or Bahamas, one of them islands, but it reminds me of Jamaica, or Jamaicans that is in the States and are not legal in the United States, meaning them overstay them visas, and for whatever reason them not sort out themselves. Listen, all of my Jamaicans them, me I talk to Huno, where they are Florida, New York, wherever in the States. If you not travel for a visa and then you no overstay, that is a problem. And them not care how much pitney you want to have, them not care how much cry your daughter want cry or how much your husband miss you, them not care about that. You have written rules and written laws. Once you break those laws and rules, you have to hold yourself accountable. Them are going to hold you accountable for that. So you have to understand, say, yes, it is unfair and it is unfortunate, but you have to understand, say, you have rules and regulations everywhere. And once you break it, them are come for you. So me I want every Jamaican, anywhere you're there in the States, you know, see if any how you travel by your visa and any how you're illegal, you know, you are not a resident, you are not a citizen in a stateside, you're in a problem. Donald Trump now play and these people are come find you. So we just give out a little warning because everybody out there I try eat a food, I try better themselves, better them family back home, and it is very unfortunate when them hold you. We have to understand, say, so it go rules and laws. And a lot of people, you know, a lot of us Jamaicans, when we there, either we travel or we work overseas or whatever, we forget to set up a house or set up something back home. That's why a lot of us are scared to go back home. That's why a lot of Jamaicans are scared to go back where them come from. Because them not have nothing, them not have a room, they not have a zinc or a nail. And them family fall out, them not take care of them family back home, them not join one little room, one little bathroom pan them mother place, them not buy a piece of land to put up one room pan it, so them scared to go back home. That is the problem. Every Jamaican, listen to me, yo. Anywhere on the day, if you can't buy a piece of land for yourself, draw hand, put on one little room for your mother place or your grandmother place. Them now run you. Put on one little room, one little bathroom. Do something. If you don't have the money to buy your own land, your own house, put on something for your mother place. Put on something for your father place. Put on something for your grandmother place. No Jamaican now turn back them pitney if them a try help themselves. No Jamaican now do that. No mother, no father now do that. You know when them not count you, anytime you go away and you no business with them now go business with you. So take heed, learn, and don't farm fool. Big up on yourself. Big Voice Radio in the building. Big up on yourself.
Hungry, 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 hungry days again. Hungry days again.
Jamaica is one of the most famous islands in the Caribbean, known for its reggae music, delicious cuisine, and laid-back culture. The island is home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.